today off.
No, I was working in the morning.
All right, well, happy birthday to you.
I'll just sing.
I'm going to do the Marilyn Monroe version.
You record
Happy
segments in a Zoom.
Happy. That's actually true. Happy birthday, dear Jason. Happy birthday to you.
Well, I
You're
guess
44.
44, yes. I guess that's the intro for this.
44. Wow.
44, yeah. And I've lost 40 and
Okay, remember how
0.4
close you are
pounds.
to the mic.
I didn't lose 44 pounds, but I lost 40.4 pounds so far. I'm actually at 169.6 right now.
Wait, you lost 44.4?
40.4. I haven't lost 44. I lost 40.4.
I think that's pretty reasonable. Like,
Yes.
that's like 1/3 of your weight, almost.
It was like...
Wait, a third of your weight? 40 pounds? He
No,
weighs
no,
I was
120 pounds.
210.
Wow, why are you on a diet if you weigh 120 pounds?
All right, let's rephrase
No, I was
that.
210 when I
You lost
started.
a fifth of your weight almost.
Yes, almost a fifth, and I still got. I want to get down to like 145, 150, so I still got like 20 more to go, but it'll come off slowly. It as you lose more, it's harder to get them off. So I've been losing less and less, but it's coming.
Yeah, because eventually you get to the point where you're like, okay, for me to lose weight now, I would have to lose an organ.
Yes.
I can probably help you with that.
Heart Punch Lunch! All right. That's a better name now that I've said that.
No,
It
it's
sounds good. Heart Punch Lunch. All right, folks, I'm Tom Vasel.
Jason Levine.
Sam Healy, what's up, y'all?
I can't do this
Oh.
without a hat. It's kind of...
Yeah.
You didn't comb your hair.
Well...
You got a piece of cheese on your hat? What was that? You have your hat on backwards?
No, that's the foam thing from the.
No, I did not.
That's
Okay.
the foam thing from the game.
This is from the... This is the sponge that
That's
you wet
if you don't use
for
whipped cream, you use
the
sponge.
pie.
Ugh, that's gross.
We had a new game today called Wet Head.
Oh, yeah. It's a little helmet you put on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have it?
No, I've just seen it.
And you'll spin a spinner and say pull one out, and one of them triggers water pouring in your head. It was hilarious to watch. The kids are like, "Are you nervous?" I said, "No, I'm not playing." So
Or just you get
I
wet.
feel pretty good. Yeah, and today was super hot. Woo! Today is a Miami hot day. We had a picnic, and after 2 hours, I said we're done because we were
2
trying.
hours only, really.
We were
Yeah.
trying to
He
fly.
likes the heat, too.
We were trying to fly kites too, and the wind today was like blowing and then stops, which is, you're like, oh, there's a kite. It was Charlie Brown Kiteville.
That the styrofoam plane was cool.
Yes, ours had a current humongous accident. So we're taking questions today. We are leaving. As soon as this question is over, we're packing up, and me and Sam are heading over to UK Gaming Expo.
I'm already packed.
Well, okay, I need to pack up the camera we're recording this with and the computer and all that jazz.
Yes.
Everything else is packed.
I'm just driving him to the airport.
On his birthday.
Yes, on my birthday.
This is twice now that I've had someone drive me somewhere on their birthday. We did it to Kenny, too.
Did we?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It was Kenny's birthday once, so well.
All right, we're going to have to do something to celebrate Jason and Kenny's birthday when we get back.
Yes.
We'll bring you fish
And
and
chips.
chips in a bag.
Might be-
Bangers and mash with mushy peas. Does anyone know what mushy peas
Do you
are?
want me to bring that back from England for you?
They
Do you know how gross that would be by the time you got it?
I know it would be. Or
Stick it in a microwave. It'll kill anything
black
that's
pudding.
growing on it.
Including flavor.
try the black pudding.
So anyway, if you have questions, there's a link in the description of the video. It's KIUNEI, and you can ask questions there. I know that for some reason, the program that we're using, OBS, is constantly getting the sound not synced with the video, and I do not know why. I keep messing with it, and I just don't know what the problem is with it right now. So I guess we could always go right from the computer. I wonder if that would be better. All right, let's see if that's better. Maybe that is more in timing. Highly doubtful, but we'll hear from people soon enough. So anyway, we're going to answer questions from there. Have you played Arcadia Quest Inferno yet? And the answer to that is no. I looked at it, but none of us, I don't think you played it either.
Not.
How do you feel about people printing old Formula Day tracks from picture files?
Me, I think it's okay. I know that sounds weird, but they do have that the computer version, which has almost all the tracks on it. Some company in some website in France, you could actually play all the tracks, and it plays like a track plays in like 5 minutes because it does all the counting for you and it shows all the spots and you just pick one and that's where you are. It's great.
Isn't that like a program that was made by the company, though?
No, it was some company in France, but it wasn't.
No, but it was a company that printed it in France.
Was it? Then maybe it was, but yeah, I mean, when a game's got out of print and it's never going to be reprinted, I don't see a problem like printing out the maps if you never got them.
Okay. Samuel.
We already talked about this on one of our back talks. And again, like I said in the back talk episode, if the company that printed the game made a program like that available, no problem with that at all. But if it is somebody outside of that program, I think that's at the very least gray territory. I think it's in the wrong avenue of what is right and what is wrong.
Says audio is working, but seems weak on Jason's side, or when I turn to Jason.
I'll talk louder.
Because you're louder.
I am.
I don't know where the audio input is on these things. Do you know? Is it like up here?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I'll talk louder.
All right. Okay, so anyhow, what are your thoughts on Kahuna? I know Sam loves it, but what's your opinion? I really like it too.
I'm giving it a high five because the map looks
Oh,
like
wow.
a hand.
That's meta.
It is.
Yeah.
High five. I love Kahuna. It's a really good game. Is it still in print or is it out of print?
It is out of print.
It's one of the little
Oh, wait.
boxes.
Did they bring that one back in? They brought that one back in. I'm wrong.
Cosmos is bringing that back. They had it at Gamma.
Kahuna's really good.
I really like it. I like the game version of it called Kanaloa, which was a 2 to 4 player version of it, but that's never came to America at all, as far as I know. Yeah, Kahuna is a very... If you like to watch chain reactions, that's what I like about Kahuna.
Yes.
Yep.
What games have the coolest cardboard pieces that need assembly, like the trains in Cold Express?
Well, even though I don't like the game that much, Camel Up has that really cool pyramid where you put the dice in.
That is cool. Yeah.
I didn't build that. Was it hard to build?
To get those rubber bands around took a while.
Oh, that's right, because that had rubber band thing.
Yeah, they put those special rubber bands on it, but it was very cool putting it together.
I think the rides in Steam Park
Yes.
look pretty cool. Those are cardboard rides that you stick together. Those look neat.
There was a game that we didn't actually play a lot of. I can't remember the name of it. But you put little cars together, and they were cardboard pieces, and you put the cardboard cars together. And they were like Mad Max type cars that had like cannons and guns and shields on them. And
What about that old Fantasy Flight game?
I don't know if it was Fantasy Flight, but it came in like little CCG packs.
Oh, no. That was that racing game. That was like a sequel
yes.
to WizKid's ship game.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it. It was
That
like
game
Falcones
almost-
or something like Racer Knights of Falcones, maybe.
That
As well.
sounds right. It almost went out of print the day it was released. It was, maybe not that close, but it was pretty close.
I mean, we found a really good deal at it one time when we went to Origins, and I bought like a whole box of those CCG packs.
Oh, no.
And they were fun together. We didn't hardly ever play the game, but my sons and I had a really good time putting the cars together and just playing with the cars like Hot Wheels. So that's another one that's pretty cool.
What do you love, hate about Gen Con being in Indianapolis? Okay, we'll go with what do we love about it. I like the convention center.
The convention center is really...
The food around that area.
Yeah,
is
that
good.
was going to be my second thing. The restaurants that are in the area are amazing.
Yeah, but my problem, I love the restaurants in Gen Con, but they're very high-end.
They are.
If you want to get cheaper food at Gen Con, it's much more difficult as opposed to, let's say, Origins.
Well, it's because you're down.
I mean, there was that
Like what?
that circle where that soda shop was they had cheap stuff there. I mean, not everything.
But that's
was
not
cheap.
super close either, though. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
too far,
It
but
was like 4 block walk. It wasn't like a 4 block walk to those things.
No, I think it was a little bit longer than that.
well, I don't know. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's just not the same as Origins was. Origins had some fairly inexpensive, and also I feel like it was easier to get into the restaurants. Gen Con, I got to make reservations.
Yeah, Gen
and
Con,
stuff.
everything fills up. Like that noodle shop was really good, and it was pretty cheap, but it was. We waited 45 minutes to get noodles.
There'd be some good noodles.
That's true. The noodle company is an inexpensive option, and so is the Steak and Shake.
Steak and
That's
Shake.
why
But the problem with those are just
You gotta
super,
wait.
super crazy.
Mhm.
So okay.
Are those roach coaches outside? Are they cheap or expensive? Or what?
Oh, that's true. That's true. I keep
the-
forgetting about the trucks.
The food trucks.
Yeah.
I
They're
did not
great.
realize their nickname was
I didn't
Roach
think
Coaches.
about that either.
Yeah, the roach coach.
No, they're food trucks now. It's like
That's a
high
roach
class.
coach,
Who
man.
calls them that?
Everybody does.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So never mind. Maybe I'll take back my food thing.
And the convention center is really good after the convention has actually started. If you have to be in there before the convention starts, it's going to be like working out at the gym. It's so hot in there. They don't turn the air on.
Yeah, that was super hot this year. All right. Things to hate about Gen Con being in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Is that a thing that you hate about Gen Con? That it's in Indianapolis? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
Yeah, like what's a negative thing about it being in Indianapolis?
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying
It's
that
in-
was a negative thing.
it's Indianapolis. It's like
The fact that we got to fly there, I guess, I would prefer it to be in Homestead.
Wow.
Well, no, I mean, I guess that's a,
At least say Miami. Come on.
There's not a lot of places to go outside of the 4 block radius around Gen Con.
Yeah.
Once you get out of there, there's nothing. It's an industrial area. We one time Bob was there and we were there early and we're like, let's just drive and find a restaurant. There was no driving and finding a restaurant.
No, it's. I mean, Indianapolis. Even though you think it's a big city, it's not really a big city.
Well, it's an industrial city.
If they moved it to like Orlando, what they were
Wow.
talking about, that would have been really cool because Orlando's got a lot going on for it.
Wow, okay, but I'm not trying to. That's super selfish
Yeah, it
to
is.
say that.
If they moved it to Vegas, Vegas has a lot going on. If they moved it to like LA's got a lot going on.
And even though I love the convention center there, and it's a pretty cool convention center, you will walk a lot. And one of the worst things about Gen Con is the hotel situation currently.
11
We
miles.
are very fortunate. We have connections that get us into a hotel that's connected. Not having one that's connected would be really unfortunate, I think.
I walked an average of 11 miles at
Sounds
Gen
is
Con.
fine.
Audio is not good. We can't hear you. See, some people say they can hear us, and some people are saying they can't. You will walk a lot, and one of the worst things about Gen Con is the hotel. See, I don't understand that. Some people say they can't hear us, but it is definitely, we can hear it from here. We have connections that get us into a hotel that's connected. Not having one. Yeah, I'm sorry, folks. For those you can't hear, I apologize, but it does seem like the sound is coming through for some people.
But going back to what I was saying, I walked an average of 11 miles a day when we were at Gen Con last year.
And that's being in one of the 2 closest hotels.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if you're going to Gen Con, be ready to walk. Make sure you bring some nice, comfortable shoes because you're going to get your wear out of them.
Yep.
All right, let's see here. Let's see if any questions have moved to the top. What is always the sign of a good game?
Fun, which is a completely subjective thing, but if a person is having fun playing a game, for them, it's a good game. You might not agree with them, you might not have fun playing the game, but I don't know, I guess that's kind of a sidestep of the actual question maybe, but
No, I like games that make you think.
mm,
If the game makes you think, then
unless
to
it
me,
makes
that's a
your
sign of a good game.
unless it makes your brain hurt. That's too much thinking.
I'm letting these guys answer this because that's such a general. That's like a question like, okay, we're going to start our 40-part series on that. It's just so open-ended. In the podcast, you said The Godfather is the best game you've played so far this year. Does that mean it's much better than Star Wars Rebellion? Or are they both too different to rank them off of each other? I would have to play Godfather some more before I said it's better than Star Wars Rebellion.
It's pretty close.
It would be close, right? Okay, I would say that those and Mystic Vale are my favorite games that I've played this year so far. But you're right; they have different feels. I'm not afraid to rank games against each other. I don't care. I'll say Twilight Imperium versus Love Letter. Of course, Love Letter is worse.
Really?
But I don't know. I'll wait till the end of the year before that. It's just what I was saying on Saturday. Someone asked a Q&A. They're like, "Oh, the year 2016 doesn't look good so far." And the fact is, we can never say any of that stuff until like October.
Yeah.
Because most of we don't know most of the games until Origins. We start seeing them previewed. Gen Con, we start playing them, and then the Essen brings out a whole pile. So
The Godfather, are we allowed to say stuff or not say stuff about it?
did you played it?
I played it at the
You can I don't know. I only know what I was told I could talk about at the thing, and I think it also. I know it's changed since you played it.
I just want to say, and this is obviously being very vague about it. Then is I think it's better than Blood Rage. I mean, Eric did both games, and I think it's better than Blood Rage.
That I don't agree with. All right, because Blood Rage is just nigh. It comes as close to
Perfection.
Oh, yeah. Remember the sound.
Is the sound working?
It comes close to perfection for me. All right. Hi, Tom. I'm a heavy Euro gamer and would like to try a dungeon crawl for a change. What game would you recommend as a gateway game for my gaming group and me?
Me, Imperial Assault, because it's Star Wars.
It depends on if you mean an actual fantasy style dungeon crawl, like an RPG type game, and if that's the case, I would probably go with Descent. But at the same time, Imperial Assault's really good, both campaign and skirmish style. So really, it's whatever it comes down to as far as yours is concerned. There's also Level 7 Omega Protocol, which is a sci-fi version.
For a Euro gamer.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to make the leap over, I mean, being a Euro gamer is really.
How about Warhammer Quest?
Actually, I have read the rules. I put all the models together.
Does it seem simple?
It is very simple, but it's got a little cool nuances about it. They have familiars that will affect the party. They're familiars of the bad guys, the bad magician.
What are the monsters of the game?
They're different. I can't say that they're conjurations because I haven't read all the lore of the game. I just basically read the rules. But Silver Tower seems to be this place where one big dude that conjures all these different beasts lives, and you're trying to battle your way through the tower, finding treasures and upgrading yourself and that type of stuff.
From what I understand, Warhammer Quest was like an upgrade of the old Hero Quest game, and they made it more complex. You had to put together many models, though, right?
51 models, and I got it done in one day. They were a lot easier.
Yeah, but you're like an expert.
No, I am not. Matter of fact, I still have to put together Death Watch Overkill and Betrayal at Calth. Betrayal at Calth is like 95% done, but I was able to put all the models together in one day. They were a lot easier. Probably the easiest one that Games Workshop has come out with this new breed, I guess you could say, of their games, where they have this board game feel to them, except for Lost Patrol. Lost Patrol is really easy, but it only had 12 models in it, or 15, 17 models, or something like that. So that would be another one you could try, although off the top of my head, I can't remember the price point.
Sam will be reviewing that one.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will.
Did you get it?
Warhammer Quest? No, I don't.
Are you thinking about it?
No, You know how I feel about putting together models.
All right, you always say you're looking forward to English fish and chips. What about English breakfast? Any interest there? I'm just interested in food in general. I really am. And here's where I'm really happy about going to England, because I'm a heavy tea drinker.
And scones.
No.
Scones
I
with
just
your
like to drink tea.
and crumpets.
Are you just saying
Crumpets.
English words?
No.
Crumpets.
Scone. They take the scone, they crack in half and put cream in it. It's really good.
Oh, here's a good question. What reality show has the best game mechanism? Survivor, Big Brother, Amazing Race, or The Mole? Now, I have to say, I don't know that I've ever watched an episode of Big Brother.
Mhm.
I have watched the other three.
Big Brother is not as good as the rest, but yeah, they're just locked in a place and they vote some people out. It's like leaked version of Survivor.
I guess we'll take out the aspect of these that obviously they're reality, so I know that they're messing with the systems to make them work. Amazing Race is my favorite of the three shows because, well, I like seeing the different locales. I like seeing them go all over the world, and I feel like if they win in a challenge there, they're not manipulating the other players to get stuff done. You'd be an interesting Survivor player.
Survivor?
So would you.
No.
Yeah, we better not play Survivor here.
In Survivor, you need to be stronger. You need to be.
But not as
Smart.
stronger. Sometimes in Survivor, it's an interesting thing I like to talk about sometimes. Like, is it okay, like in a game like Survivor, where they will sit there and they will straight up lie to someone else's face, right?
Mhm.
Because it's a game.
Right.
And yet people get really mad about it because it's a really long game.
It's a really long game, and plus
And you make friends with these people and you feel...
it skirts the reality, real life line because sure it's just a game, but you are really going through all of this stuff, and I don't know.
One of the things I as much as I like the Amazing Race, a game mechanism in it, I don't like is it has an artificial catch-up mechanism, which is something I hate in games.
In the first season, they didn't, believe it or not.
Yeah, but see, that makes for bad TV.
No.
But sometimes not so much artificial. It's like, hey, you need to go to the Tower of London and go in and find something. So they get there and it's 5 in the morning, and they're like, oh, it doesn't open till 10.
Yeah.
So everyone behind them catches up, and it's like a bottleneck that then everyone's kind of on the same page.
See, in the first season, they didn't do that, and actually, when the one team crossed the finish line, and the other team was still in Alaska, the third place team was stuck in Alaska when the other team was crossed the finish line in LA. It was great. And like, oh, by the way, the other team won. We're going to fly you
I
back
guess the
now.
difference between you and me in games, I'd rather see a close game than a game where someone's still like 100 points behind.
No, it was. They changed the rules because of the first season, actually.
Let's see, Survivor. There's some interesting things. I like in Survivor in recent seasons they've added those immunity idols. That makes it interesting. I don't know how much you watch these shows.
I don't watch them
Immunity
at all,
idols are
actually.
cool for
You
the
haven't watched
voting.
Amazing Race?
No, I watched Amazing
The-
Race, but I haven't watched Amazing Race in probably 4 seasons.
Out of all of them, though, I know this is weird, but the Moles was my favorite. The Mole was
The
amazing.
Mole was a great idea, but it felt a little too contrived. I don't know if you know about the Mole. The Mole was there was a bunch of people and they were just doing crazy things, jumping out of airplanes and all this stuff. But one person was not actually a reality.
No.
One of the people was actually a mole. One of the people was actually trying to mess up the other players, and they had to try to figure out who the mole was.
Yeah. So what? But they weren't jumping out of planes. It was like they had like different quests they had to do, sort of, and then the person who, and then at the end of each quest, everyone had to take a quiz and who they thought the mole was. But you don't just say their name. You got to say like, did the mole do this during this episode? And did the mole do this? And whoever got the least answers right would be kicked out each episode. I thought it was really cool. And plus, it had Anderson Cooper as the host, and Anderson Cooper rocks.
Well, no, I'm not saying that's cool. I'm just not sure it was as good as a game. Who would play you in Dice Tower, the movie? Who would be cast as Eric, Sam, or Z? I met Jason's doppelganger at the zoo.
That was funny.
I was like, wait! And I looked, and Jason was next to me, and I looked over there, and there was the guy wearing a white shirt and khaki shorts, which he always wears, and had the glasses. Slightly different. And once I got closer, it was very obvious they were different, but from a distance, I thought it was Jason. But in like the movies and stuff, who would they cast as me? Tom Hanks, of course.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm just making up names.
I would definitely. I would ask Chris Farley if he was still alive to play me, because I just like Chris Farley.
All right, let's see here. Do you have any tips or storage solutions on how to reduce board game clutter? Shelves?
So
Stop buying stuff.
No, see, again, I know we always talk about these galaxy shelves. One of the reasons I like these squares is because, again, that I hate when there's like a shelf and I have games on it, and then there's like an inch at the top. I'm like, I've wasted that inch. That probably bothers you more than me.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, even now, it's like, could I squeeze a game in there? Maybe I could.
Oh, I'm always trying to do that. I'm like, and I'll remember, like, right as I try to squeeze a box into that little void above the top game, I'll remember, like, the last time I tried to do the exact same game and squeeze it into that same thing, and just over time you forget.
Oh, that didn't work?
Yeah, that it didn't work, and so I find myself doing it over and over and over again.
Since I teach literature, I was excited to learn of Game Right's new Bring Your Own Book. In your opinion, as a gamer teacher, do games like Shakespeare, Robinson Crusoe, etc., have a strong enough literary tie-in to justify class use to an administrator? Well, you can always justify anything to an administrator if you try hard enough.
Yes, you can.
Bring Your Own Book, by the way, is like a party game where you bring your own book, and then it like asks questions, and you're flipping through and trying to find a line from your book that is an answer to that question.
And answer to that question.
Something like that. That's a cool idea. I like that. And that gives you. It could really be funny. It could also really be pretty boring, I guess, if you bring the wrong books. But yeah, you can justify things to your administrator.
George Lopez could be Z. That would be funny.
Oh, Jason Alexander for Jason. Maybe?
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing George Costanza, that's why, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci, yeah.
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
He's a little too old now, though.
Yeah, no kidding. And he needs to eat a Snickers. But anyhow, let's see here. Do you have any sites you are looking to see in the UK before heading to the expo? Well, we're going to the Tower of London.
Yes.
That's all I know.
I'd like to go to the Imperial War Museum, too.
I don't know what that is, but all right.
I gave them a whole bunch. I told Tom, I'm like, you have to go to Buckingham Palace, you have to go to Parliament, you have to go to Westminster Abbey, Piccadilly Circus. There's so many good things
He
here.
has scheduled those up a lot.
I'm not going, but I gave him like I
wouldn't mind seeing like a board game cafe though in London or anything. You know, I'm kind of cool with seeing anything.
Many cool things.
There's a real huge one there too.
Board game cafe?
Did you? By the way, Sam, did you ever see the movie National Lampoon's European Vacation?
Yes.
So I kept joking with Tom before, and he didn't get it about. Look, kids, Big Ben, Parliament.
Yeah.
Look, but when you get there, you're going to find out there's no actual circle in front of Big Ben. That was just in the movie.
Yeah.
But hey, we're done with the Q&A questions. So now we're going to Dice Tower. Now we're going back to YouTube. So once we get through people giving all these different folks in here, I have Last Will and Prodigals Club in the Prodigals Club box. Does that count? Can they fit in the same box? Prodigals Club is pretty full.
I guess so. I wouldn't try. I don't usually like combine my games into one box. I never thought about that.
Creators of Load Kickstarter are protos who did not fulfill the Aliens vs. Predator Kickstarter. Thoughts on game publishers trying to hide your identity. Okay, now I'm not speaking to that particular instance because I don't know anything about it other than the BGG thread that was 200,000 pages long.
200,000 pages? Wow.
That's a slight hyperbole. But I'm wary of game publishers trying to hide their identity.
Yes.
I guess I would wonder why. Now, game publishers have switched in the past. The guy who made that old game,
You mean Valley Games?
not Valley Games.
Became Radiant Games?
Yes, that was a little transparent, that one. But there have been companies that have changed their name.
Game Salute with
No,
like
no, not
100 aliases?
Game Salute, because Game Salute's still Game Salute. But there have been people who change their names, and sometimes you just want to rebrand your company. Like, for example, if your company is named after your first game, and then you decide you want to change it. I remember back in the days there was a company called Diet Evil, and she changed it to Dancing Eggplant because she was having a hard time getting stores to carry her game because she wasn't making games that were evil. She was making like little fun family games, and people were not wanting to buy them because that particular market didn't want a Diet Evil game. So she rebranded the company, and that made more sense.
Yeah.
I hate how this thing jumps. All right, where are we? Sam is going to the Games Workshop headquarters, by the way.
Yeah, not just a store, Warhammer World in Nottingham. So
What tips do you have for someone going to Origins for the first time?
have fun.
Okay, thanks, useful man.
Don't get overwhelmed.
Yeah, don't sign up for more than my one thing I want to say, don't sign up for more than one event a day, or maybe 2 events at the most. Because what will happen is you'll sign up for that event, then you'll see something else cool you want to do, or you'll be like, let's say you have an event at 4 o'clock, and then at 2 o'clock you're like, someone says, hey, do you want to play this game? You're like,
Right.
I'd love to, but I got to be somewhere at 4, and I don't know if this game will finish in time, and then it stresses you out and such. But at the same time, I don't think it's okay to schedule things because it gives you something to do.
Yeah.
But feel free to wander around. If someone asks you to demo a game, take them up on it. Just kind of leave yourself that out. You're like, can we just play a few rounds? Just in case. Don't be afraid. I think people at Origins, it's one of the more friendly conventions. Eat at the North Market. That's like with a exclamation point after it.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's not a suggestion. That's more like a commandment.
Go to
Right.
go to the donut place there. The donuts are incredibly huge
Sam,
and really good.
Sam, how much are you looking forward to seeing the GW headquarters?
Very much so.
He's going to come out with a big bag of miniatures, just dragging him
I
like
doubt.
Santa Claus.
I doubt that.
Alarms will be going off. Sam's trying to get out of there. He stole a 30,000 point Space Marine army. That'd be like,
Stealing it back.
Hmm?
Stealing it back.
whatever happened to your Space Marine army?
It got stolen.
Wait, when did that happen and where? Was it in Korea?
No, it was in Pensacola in the mall in that little shop that we
that's
had there.
right. Well, it wasn't 30,000 points.
No, it wasn't. It was more like 3,000. But
It's still a lot.
it was my Land Raider.
That's right. I remember it was just we weren't like having an official tournament. It was kind of like a get together type thing,
Right.
and it was just gone.
We went to
That's
lunch,
the worst.
came back, and it was gone.
Will you leave it in that back room or was it out front?
No, it was in the back room. I told the owners, we're coming right back. Please make sure. Oh, yeah, no problem.
Wow, that's like 15, 16 years ago now.
It is.
So it's a 3,000 point army now. It's like 30,000 points now. We don't know anything about Arkham Horror, the card game. What do you think corporate responsibility will become more explicitly prominent in board game publishing? Like buy a game and another gets donated to charity, like Tom's Shoe Company. Tom's Shoe Company, is that where you buy a pair of shoes and another pair was... I don't know that... I've always kind of been of the opinion that things like that is more of individual responsibility than corporate responsibility. I don't know that a corporation is responsible to do anything per se, but how do you know that publishers aren't doing that already? I mean, publishers, they don't have to announce everything that they're doing, and I know a lot of publishers support a lot of charities in the board gaming business. Also, a lot of these publishers are essentially individuals running a board game company, and they may do things with charity on their own dime. I know a lot of them support the Jack Bass Memorial Fund, that's for sure, and other things like that. So I don't know that you have to say, hey, buy a game and send another game to charity, because you would go out of business, I think, if you did that.
Plus, a lot of... because he got kind of close to what he was saying. I know of a couple companies that expressly ask you not to tell people that they're doing this for you, whatever it is. And so, like he's saying, they could be doing things behind the scenes, and they're doing them because they know it's the right thing to do. It's the whatever, but they just don't want the accolades for it on the other end. They just want to be very private about it.
Did any of you ever play sports as a kid?
Yes.
Yes.
I played soccer and I played baseball, and I was in baseball, whatever you would call position 9. Like, if they had another kid, they would not have me on the team.
Bench?
Yeah, no, I was not on the bench, but that's only because...
Position 9 is the right fielder.
No, they didn't put me in right field. They put me at second base because I couldn't catch anything. So...
Why would they put you at second base then?
I'm sorry, shortstop.
Why would they put you at shortstop?
No, they put me at second base. Why? Because they expected the shortstop and the left fielder to cover for me.
Okay.
I don't know.
And right field is definitely the place
So
where
you were position 4.
I got one hit in my career. I remember that very fondly.
one hit.
One hit.
All right, you're doing good. You
And
get a
in
ribbon for that?
soccer, yeah. So we're not going back to sports again. Now, I felt like I was pretty decent at street hockey. Loved playing street hockey, but there was no official leagues for street hockey that I knew of as a kid. We
They
just
got
played.
rollerblades. They
Oh, yeah,
got roller.
you're younger than me.
They got roller hockey now. So
They do, and I don't know how I would do on roller skates because we just ran around in the streets and
I
played.
have rollerblades.
I was a right fullback in soccer when I was a kid. Played baseball. I was a catcher in baseball and catcher and first base. Then I also was a defensive tackle and right outside linebacker in high school for football. I also was a guard on the offensive side of the ball a little bit. And then I also played goalie in hockey, ice hockey that is, for a good stint, roller hockey and ice hockey. And I played racquetball with my dad, bowling, and all that kind of stuff too. So.
Me, I played Little League. I was catcher.
You were a catcher, huh?
Yeah, I had more hits than Tom, if he only had one hit in his career.
That's not really like a stellar achievement.
No. I was okay. I wasn't great, but I was decent. Then in junior high school, I was on the wrestling team.
Really?
Yeah. And then I played football for a year, running back.
Okay, now this one I have the hardest time believing because you don't seem like you're big enough.
Well, then you're gonna not even believe this. But I played ice hockey my whole life, and I was on the ice hockey team in high school.
Oh, they're small ice
And
hockey players, isn't there?
I was a defenseman.
That's less.
And my senior year, I went to turn around to get a puck, and my skate got caught in the ice, and until I ripped up my knee the first time. The knee that I had 2 surgeries on, I like ripped everything apart because my skate got caught in a rut.
Wait a minute, so I got 2. We could have a diced out ice hockey team.
No.
Yeah, I have my skates, my rollerblades.
Yeah, 2 people.
That's why when you said
That's
street
like way
hockey-
more than most other podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta play. You gotta put 6 on the ice, 5 up.
No,
and
I don't
one
have
goal.
any-
Okay, I can skate.
I
So-
can skate still.
No, and I can actually. Maybe those street hockey things will come back to me. Puck, ball, it's almost the same thing.
Do you guys still play?
It actually isn't. But
I
okay.
know it's not.
Do
Come
you guys-
on.
Do you guys still play sports? Because I mean, me like, when I was at ESPN, we actually had an ice hockey team at ESPN, and I played on it.
That's
They had, like,
cool.
and then now at being at Univision Deportes, we actually have a soccer team, and I play on it. I scored 1 goal. I was so happy I scored a goal. I was like, I can't believe I scored a goal. That's when I broke when I was playing goalie in Brazil is when I broke my finger.
Yes, that I remember.
But
He's
I
a
actually
very
scored a goal.
injury-prone person.
No.
You played ice hockey when we were in Korea, didn't you?
Yeah, I played with a few of our students.
All right, I'm feeling very, very unmanly, so let's move on.
We could get you into more exercise, lose weight that way.
Can we see a top 10 train games from you and Jason? Yes, but I want to find a third person that's train games. So
You don't like
Probably
enough
not
of them,
you.
Sam?
Choo, choo. You're not going to be able to do that when we do the top 10 train games. Okay. All right. Let's see. When's the next top 100 going to come out?
Very
Why don't you look
soon,
at our
possibly.
schedule this week? How about tomorrow? Who's it going to be? All right. Anyway, if you could only bring one game from the UK, what game would that be? It's
From the
Warhammer 40,000.
Yes,
I like to bring the game.
the entire.
That would be a
game.
container.
It would. Every single army in existence, enough to where I could build any army that I wanted to, within each faction.
Quick, which is the most expensive army? I'm pretty sure I know what it is.
The most expensive army, I would probably say Tau or Eldar.
See, I was going to say Imperial Guard.
Maybe because they have all those tanks.
All those tanks, and
Right.
each tank is like...
But Tau and Eldar have their fair share of tanks and Wraith Guard and Wraith Lords and all that kind of stuff too. So
Well, once you include, what's that other company called? The offshoot of Games Workshop, the one that makes like the Dreadnoughts.
I'm brain farting. What is it? They make the huge. They were
Forge World.
Forge
Forge
World.
World.
Yeah, that's right.
What?
Forge World.
Am
They were
I the
right across
only
hall
one
from
who would
us.
be like, oh, get me an old copy of Fury of Dracula?
Yeah, because they.
Yeah, because the new one's out.
They
I
have-
know,
they
but the
actually
old
have-
one's
They
awesome.
actually have 2 versions that are better than the old one now.
Games Workshop. Hang in there with your non-Warhammer games.
What old top 10 list do you think most needs to be updated? Probably the top 10 essential games that every gamer should own.
Actually, going back to that last question,
From
if I could get a copy of Blood Bowl, I would do that.
The
I feel
original?
pretty
And
confident,
just
though.
get the scoop on it.
Oh, you mean the new one?
Yeah.
Well, there's no guarantee there's a new one.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure they're not reprinting it. All right. Germany. We haven't played Ticket to Ride Germany. I've only played Ticket to Ride Markland.
That is
And I
Germany.
think
that is
no,
Germany.
there's Ticket to Ride Germany. They took out the Markland part of it, the passengers.
Oh, so it's the same, but
That would
without
drive me
passengers?
nuts because I love those passengers so much. I'd sit there the whole time going,
The only thing I don't like about the passengers are the little numbered chits that get laid down on top of each
Yeah.
thing. Those drive me up a wall because I have to make sure that I have every single one of them before I put the game away.
oh, yeah. Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, I'll answer that.
Okay. Sam, when can we expect Throat Punch lunch?
The week after we return. We're looking at launching on Wednesday next week.
And it will be bi-weekly?
It will be bi-weekly, right? So basically, what it'll do is that every week that there isn't a blender, there will be a Throat Punch lunch.
Yes.
It just sounds interesting as I hear those words spoken in that order. Will Jason have a segment?
Yeah, there's a new segment called
Awesome sauce.
Awesome Sauce.
I got to show you the intro I made for you.
It's a strategy segment. So everyone has been asking for like game strategy. I'm going to be doing actual game strategy and like different things that you can do when you're playing certain games. So
I've beat Jason using his own strategy against him. So
yes. So
at Kemet, as a matter of fact.
Are you reading a book at the moment? If so, which one?
I read like 2 chapters in my son's Aiden. He he has a little teeny bopper version of a Batman novel, and he asked me to read a couple chapters to him today. So that was the last book I read.
Me, Dan Brown's Inferno. I hadn't read it yet. I don't know why. But since the movie's coming out, I was like, oh, I got to read the book.
I haven't read that one. I just finished the Sten series, a sci-fi version, and then I saw a trailer on the internet for some movie called High Rise, which looked like, I was like, I don't know. And then it was like based on a book, and I was like, oh. So I went and looked at the book. I read the book, and by reading the book, it was like, is it gonna get good yet? Okay, I bet it gets good here. All right, when's it gonna get good?
It didn't.
It ended. Wow, it is a book that think Lord of the Flies in a high-rise building
Yes.
for no reason at all, and it boggles my mind. Everyone in the building just like devolves into barbarianism for no reason. I guess it's supposed to be like a allegory.
Now we know where they got the storyline for the Last Dread movie.
No, that was more interesting. That movie.
Really?
Yeah, because at least in the Dread movie, he's going through blowing things up. That didn't happen
Yeah.
in the book. All right. Are you going to do a Gen Con preview again? Yes, we will. We'll be doing an Origins preview hopefully next week. Just remember that next week we will be coming back from the UK Expo. We have 1 week to do our stuff for that week, and the UK gaming, and Origins week afterwards. So we will try, but it's going to be a interesting week. Is there any games we're reviewing in the near future we can look forward to reviewing? Well, this week, Sam and I took a look at the new Dead of Winter, The Long Night. Me and Jason will be taking a look at Prodigals Club. That's probably next week.
I'll be reviewing Warhammer Quest Silver Tower soon after we return.
And Tin Goose will be coming in a bit.
Yes, Rio Grande.
One of the first times Jason and I have not slightly disagreed, but highly disagreed. Spoiler alert, he's wrong.
No, I'm right on this one.
All right. Man, I hate when that happens.
Is that-
Where it like jumps to the bottom.
Yeah. Shoot.
Would you guys like a gift from Scotland before we meet at the expo? Yes. Why would I say no to that? Unless that gift is like a punch or something. I got a gift for you. Wow, we really. Okay, there we go. Blah, 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 blah. What do you think of Facebook groups that try to get games for retail price by pretending to be retailers, and when they do not get it, they start trashing the game of Board Game Geek? Is that a thing?
I didn't know that was a thing.
They
See,
try to get games for retail by pretending to be retailers.
See, distributors are pretty canny in this regard. There are people who pretend they're stores so they get these cheaper prices. Then they buy games for themselves.
I never even thought of that. Like,
You're thinking of it now, though, aren't you?
No, I'm like,
No, but I mean, no. Listen,
don't you have
because
to have like a store license?
well, yeah, but maybe the store license is cheaper, and you sell a few games on the internet. This is where a lot of the deep discounters come from. There are people who sell games on Amazon, and they're doing it mostly because they want to get the game for the regular price. I mean, not the retail price, but the
Yeah,
why is my line going blank?
distributor price.
Yes. So I don't really have any opinion on that because I never heard of this thing. Maybe it's a whole thing, but if a bunch of people trash a game, you want to look and see why are they trashing the game, right?
Right.
I mean, you can trash a game all you want, but I want to know why you're trashing it. If it's because, ooh, I can't get a hold of the game, that's not a very good reason.
Right.
Sam is playing Robinson Crusoe at Dice Tower Con. That we do need to put on the schedule.
Yeah. With Ignacy.
Does the Blood Rage insert from Broken Token scratch up the bases some? Someone told me their bases got beaten up a bit from that.
I read that before you did, and it doesn't. I mean, you're supposed to be putting the bases into those little clippy things so that your color is there, and those are what clip into. Well, actually, those don't actually clip into anything. Oh, maybe they're talking about the monsters.
Well, also maybe they paint those rings. If you paint those rings, then yeah, those might get
Why would you
scratched
paint
up.
the rings though?
Well, some people
that's
might
your color.
though, because maybe they don't like that. Maybe they. I know I've heard people say that like they're too garish, and maybe they want to mute them or something.
Whatever. Well, I have not yet painted my copy of Blood Rage, and I haven't painted Blood Rage at all. So I can't really say that that's false. Although the regular miniatures that everybody has for their factions, I would think that the bases are pretty protected because you put them into their things. I see where it might happen with the monsters as they're clipping into the base. So I don't know.
When will we get Scythe? I've been told July. Are we interested in developing and making your own game? I've done it. Not super interested in doing it again, but it might happen. I won't say no. You?
Developing game, no.
You just not have no interest in that? I like
No,
that.
Not really.
Not everyone has to be a designer.
Not really. I mean,
Oh,
you
my
know,
watch just told me to stand.
when you have me playtest stuff for Dice Tower Essentials, that's about as far as developing a game I get.
I'm doing what my watch said. What about you?
My watch isn't rude like that. Just
My
ordering
watch
me
is
around.
saying nothing.
Okay, I'm gonna sit back down because that's starting to look really dorky.
Yeah, it is. Do I convert?
No, you didn't answer it.
Oh,
About
what was
designing
that?
your own game.
Oh, I've got a design that I'm kicking around in my head right now. I've written it down on some paper, and I'm still working it out. I'll put it that way.
Sam, do you convert or do you only play with stock models? I guess we're talking about 40K here.
Yeah. First of all, I don't play 40K on a regular basis. First of all, I still have armies that I used to play, and I still have some terrain that used to be Tom's from way, way, way back. But I haven't played an actual game of 40K in a long, long time. As far as any other models are concerned that you have to put together and that type of thing, I don't have time to convert and to personalize every model. Now I'll go the extra route and the first extra step and maybe put the arm in a different position than it looks like in the book or something like that, and have different poses and stuff like that. But I don't go there. I go out and use, the green putty stuff and do all that kind of sculpting. No, I don't do all that.
I when I played 40K, I used those little rare earth magnets
Mm-hmm.
from Radio Shack because
Really?
I played against people because the Eldar have
Has
like
to be a WYSIWYG.
4 different guns that can go on the vehicles, and I'd be like, today I'm playing with star cannons. They'd be like, I don't see star cannons; those are lances. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So
Exactly.
I made little magnets and stuck them on. It was really expensive at that point because every dollar counted in those days, and those things were not cheap. Now it would be like, I'm playing with star cannons. Oh, you don't want to do that? Okay, we're done. This is a good question. Trevin says, much has been said about tables and shelves for games. What about chairs? I have back problems and I need a gaming chair I can sit in for hours. We really don't talk about chairs very often.
Well, that's because the only chair that's good costs $700.
No, that's like
That chair was so comfortable, but I wouldn't pay $700 for a chair ever in my life. For one chair.
yeah. What Jason's talking about, it's called the 8-hour chair. It's from Geek Chic, and basically it's a wooden chair, but it has like a indented butt print in it.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's
pretty
really
sure my butt
comfortable.
wouldn't fit in it.
Did you sit in it? Did you
No,
try
I
it?
didn't try it.
It really is a comfortable chair. But here's the deal. I think I would go out and spend $300 on nice computer chairs with the, reclining and all that jazz. They're cheaper. Now, the problem with those computer chairs is they're bulky, right? They take up a bunch of room around the table. I found these chairs are really good because they're super sturdy. I don't think do you think these are uncomfortable?
Yeah.
They're
But not
as comfortable
but only
as,
for like long periods of time.
Right.
You want a cushion chair?
I'm not making that request on live television. So.
I don't think they're that bad.
No, they aren't. But when you work 8 hours a day in them, they get pretty uncomfortable.
I could see that. But I mean, for gaming, we're talking about gaming, not working.
No, gaming is fine. I mean, every place that we go has these kinds of chairs, and they're fine for.
Well, no, I really dislike metal chairs. And
Right.
even more than metal chairs, I dislike plastic chairs that I feel like if I sit the wrong way, it's going to fall into pieces.
Great.
Well, then you're going to hate the cruise. Because I think they're plastic chairs on cruise.
I'm on a cruise.
Yeah.
A lot of things are. But I mean, there's also the fact of being able to move things around and put them in different spots.
True.
All right, blah blah blah. Jason, why haven't you bought Kingdom Death Monster yet?
I played it. I actually didn't like it that much. I know that sounds weird. I thought it was okay. I played it with Aldi at the Gathering, and it was a lot of fun. The game itself, but it was like the miniatures you have to put together, and then you have to take more miniatures and stick them on to keep building up your character. And it's like, I don't like that kind of miniature. And the game itself was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't near the hype it's getting. I think that it's getting a lot of hype because people paid so much money for it that they want to like it more than.
I don't really
did.
know. I can't make any comments on that.
But it was kind of neat. It was really hard to fight that lion thing. The first thing you fight, it was like almost impossible. We had like, I think 2 people died, but then your characters come back every time as just naked characters with a cloth every time that you restart. So you keep being naked character with cloth the whole game if you want.
Yeah, to me, that so doesn't make me want to play the game. I want to play a game because I want to be like a cool warrior that can do cool things, not be a guy running around with a loincloth.
But you get some special stone that when you throw it at the lion, it like kills him. That's the only thing you get. You get a stone. You can either keep it and it helps you, or you can throw it at the lion.
Yeah, but I heard that
the
there's
only way
like
to hit
a
it.
chance, like between rounds, you roll dice and there's a chance someone will just die.
No.
All right, well, maybe I heard wrong on that one.
But it was okay. I wouldn't have spent that much money for something like that.
What's the worst injury you've been through? Was it your knee?
My knee, yeah. I broke my collarbone too, long time ago. But my knee, I've had 2 surgeries on it. And obviously my finger, which was not fun, but
I've been through 2 really bad ones. One I don't remember, and another one I I do remember. The first one was on a train in Thailand. My dad was holding me on his lap, and I was standing up on his knee. And the train hit a bump, and I fell and broke my leg in I think 2 places. Then I was playing softball for my church when I was in college, and snapped the tibia in my leg about a couple centimeters above my ankle. That hurt a lot.
I don't know that I've ever been injured.
I can remember that.
Really? You've never been injured?
No, it happens to my children instead of me. I'd rather it happen to me, right? I don't think nothing has happened since you've known me, right? I don't think ever. I had my fingers slammed in a van door one time.
Oh yeah, I had.
But that was just
in the trunk.
I went to the hospital and they were like, "Oh, you're lucky."
Got a free Mountain Dew out of that one. My dad slammed the trunk on my finger. Wham!
She cried.
Oh man, I belted it, man.
And then the Mountain Dew, you're like, "Oh, this is
Exactly.
almost." If only there was ice cream to go with this.
Liquid medicine.
Let's see here. We're gonna skip some of that nonsense. Well, someone did ask why I'm scrolling through these. What's the cheapest 40K army?
I don't know. I haven't played 40K in so long. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
The Invisibles?
Invisibles. Where's your army? Oh, they're there. You just can't see them. How confident do you feel now, buddy?
If I remember correctly, I want to say possibly off the top of my head that the cheapest army might be the Tyranid, as long as you don't buy any of the big ones, because there was a lot of plastic figures, and you could. I might be wrong there, though.
I really do not have any. I don't know what their price is right now.
Probably Space Marines or Tyranid, just because you can buy them in those special starter boxes.
Orcs are
or orcs in that regard.
Orcs, you can pretty much take the garbage everybody else doesn't use and build your own stuff and just call it an orc. Vehicle. They always repurpose stuff from all the other armies. So.
Will we ever see a Twilight Imperium 4?
Yes, and it's going to have a Star Wars theme on it. I'm calling it right now.
No, they just did Rebellion. No
I'm
way.
telling you, it's
no
gonna
way.
Happen.
No, okay.
It's
see,
going to happen.
I thought that might happen, but now Rebellion is totally.
Nope.
My guess for Fantasy Flight's going to make a big announcement, right? Because they're always jonesing to make some big announcement, right?
It's Star Wars. It's always Star Wars from now on. That's their thing.
Yeah, but what can they do with Star Wars, right? I mean, they've done
Twilight Imperium 4. That's what they can do with it.
They've done X-Wing. They've done the Ground Force. The only thing I can see them do.
Rebellion is a 2-player game, dude. They're going
Yes.
to make a huge 6 to 8
Multiplayer
player multiplayer game.
The only thing I can see them making is a miniatures Star Wars game.
They already have
That would
They've
drive.
they've
No,
already done that.
that's small tactical though. If you could play a miniatures one where you could buy AT-ATs and snow speeders.
I see them doing the Twilight Imperium 4 thing before they do that.
I'm with Sam on this one. I think.
Ooh, 2 against 1, baby. You alone?
I'm not feeling it.
I'm gonna be at that flight thing. I'm gonna be like Twilight Imperium Star Wars Edition.
Now, see, now I'm not gonna be able to trust him when he tweets me from the Fantasy Flight thing. I'm like, Pixar didn't happen. All right.
And I'll be like, they wouldn't let me take pics.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sure. This is a question. Neil said, "Any chance that Z will up the frequency of Blender to 1 a week?" I would probably shoot that idea down. Actually, his show is doing a really good job. But even my show, you'll notice a lot of segments are not every week. Doing a segment every week is a lot of work. To get something up every week, every other week just gives you that breathing space. If I was starting the Dice Tower podcast over again, I would set it up so it was an every other week show. I would, because every other week gives you that breathing space.
Well, didn't you go to that? And then now you're back to doing
We
it every
did,
week?
but we record every other week, and even that's like, good.
Yeah.
We record. This is not our recording week. Yay! Next week is a recording
I
week.
will tell you this because I'm just starting to learn this now. There's a lot of editing that goes into these shows, and that takes a lot of time away from time that we could be or should be using that time for reviews. So, I mean, it's a give and take, definitely. But for myself, and again, I haven't even started mine yet. I can't see myself doing this every week. Just can't see it.
Well, folks, normally I might drag this out a little bit, but we really have to shut all this equipment down and pack it up to take the UK Gaming Expo. Not all of it, but some of it's going, like this computer and that camera. So we are going to say goodbye. We will, if you're at UK, we'll see you there.
Yep.
If you're in Ohio, we'll see you in 2 weeks. And if you're in Indianapolis, we'll all be there in a month.
2 months. It's the beginning of August. But if you're in Orlando, we'll see you at Dice Tower Con before that.
There's so much going on in these 2 months, and it starts now. All right, until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
Jason Levine.
Sam Healy. See you on the flip side, folks.
Oh, that's right.